Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm Trey,
It's your boy Million.
and you have now tuned into listening to Millions.
This is deeper than a podcast. I'm trying to tell y'all. Sit down with us.
And today we have a very, very, very special guest. Jakoba, would you mind introducing yourself?
Of course. How are you guys doing? I am Jakoba Mildton Jr., a third-year mass communication scholar from the greater city of Decatur, Georgia.
And would you mind telling the people why you're here with us today?
Today, I am currently vying to be your 15th Mr. Fort Valley State University.
Wow, Mr. Fort Valley.
Mr. Fort Valley.
You sound perfect, man. She
Appreciate it.
projecting and everything, man.
So how you doing today, man?
I'm good. I had a few classes, but I'm really chilling.
Yeah. Speaking of classes, how's your semester going so far?
Start off busy, but really it's good. Like usually it starts chill and then it gradually gets busy. So right now it's cool.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, you are a junior, senior?
Yeah, I'm a second semester junior.
Second semester junior, okay. And have you learned a lot from Fort Valley?
Of course, like coming to Fort Valley, like I've grown into the person that I never thought I could be, but it's helped me like manifest who I wanted to become, and just provided me with resources to be who I am today.
Okay, so what would you say like your biggest lesson you've learned at Fort Valley was?
So I say my biggest lesson I learned at Fort Valley is you just got to keep going, like no matter what you're going through. And I feel like a lot of college students can relate to this. Like you could wake up one day and feel like total trash, but you still got to go to class. Like you still got assignments, you still got quizzes to do. So you just got to keep going, always push yourself, and if nobody got you, you got yourself.
You are not lying, bro. I'm telling you. I've been struggling with school myself.
Hey,
man.
nah, for real.
You just spoke truth, man. Everybody can relate to that.
Everybody trying to, especially when you're trying to get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot this is a school episode. My bad. But what made you want to run for Mr. Fort Valley?
Okay, so it's crazy. I never even like considered Royal Court. I never looked at Royal Court until recently. I always been active on campus. I've always did things. I've always like held myself to a standard, but being on court was never like on my mind. So one day, I believe we was at like the FAMU game. I seen my line brothers. I seen Mr. Fort Valley, and I was like, whoa, they look like they're having fun. Like that game, I believe we had to go under the bleachers or something. So everybody was kind of like crowded, and it was just like a very magical moment. So ever since that day, I kind of went home, and I was like, okay, cool. The court, they seem like they be on it. Like they do stuff. They host events. They look nice. Like, I kind of do that stuff already, so why not, try to be on it?
Let me tell y'all about that day. That day was absolutely awful. We get there, half of us are missing stuff. So, like, I was missing a kingpin. Somebody was missing a tie. Somebody was missing socks. Like, so we get there. Lazar didn't even, Mr. Fort Valley, he didn't even have his stole. So the FAMU game, FAMU game, everybody missing something. Lazar had Mike's girlfriend, his line brother's girlfriend, bring the stole to FAMU because she was coming down. So she had to get in his room, get the stole there. So Mr. Fort Valley don't got a stole. I don't have my kingpin. Goddamn, Casey don't have his sock. Everybody misses something. Right. So we all in the dressing room like, man, fuck it. Whatever happens.
Wow.
We be like, man, forget it. Whatever happens. So
that's crazy.
So yeah, and then we get to the game and we're like, all right, finally we get here. And then FAMU's field is weird. Like it's like at a weird decline when you're coming down. So my queen, her heel sunk into the hill, bro. She almost fell. She had to clutch on to be like this. FAMU was always a fun experience. And then it started raining. I don't know.
Yeah, it started raining. I was like,
I don't know. I was like, bro, I'm blowed.
Did we win that game?
No, we got blown out.
We got blown out?
Like 40-something to 0.
See, that's my next question. Like, was Fort Valley your first choice?
See, the thing about me with college is Fort Valley chose me. I ain't choose Fort Valley. Like, I was honestly like everybody else applying where I could, getting accepted where I could. But I knew I wanted to go to HBCU. My mom made sure, like, oh, no, you going to HBCU. You're not going too far, like somewhere where if it's an emergency, I can get to you. So definitely Fort Valley chose me. I didn't choose Fort Valley.
Yeah, I could definitely relate to that because I went to Georgia State my first semester. My first semester, I went to Georgia State. Came here, and I hated it at first. Like, I really did. But it just grew on me, and I was like, dang, I'm glad I didn't go anywhere else on the road, man.
I was the same way. I started at North Carolina Central, and I'm like, at Central, we was in the city. Everything was accessible. You could get Ubers, Uber Eats. I didn't need to have a car. Like, everything was so accessible. And I was like, man, I really like it here. And then I ended up having to transfer just like you. And I get to Fort Valley. I'm like, bro, you can't have no fun if you don't know nobody.
Facts.
You can't get nowhere by yourself. Like, it ain't no
Right.
bus service that'll take you down the street. If you call an Uber, you lucky if that thing
Bruh.
comes.
What?
So I'm like,
One car, 20 minutes away.
so it's like, dang, like, I hated it here. But once you started to meet people and network and understand, like, this isn't really a school, it's a family environment. So, and I think that's what really makes people, at least me personally, that's what made me want to step up into leadership experience or roles, because it's like Fort Valley gave me so much. I felt like I had to give back to Fort Valley once I got to where I needed to be.
It's so crazy that you said that, because last night, like, I was watching old interviews of Mr. Fort Valleys and just kind of like seeing what they were about and like studying them. And somebody said that, I believe it was Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, you know, he always got overlooked and he just never like got the chance. But when he came to Fort Valley, you know, that all changed for him. Like, he was able to grow as a person. And I felt the same way. I was like, man, if I would have never chose Fort Valley, then where would I be? Like, honestly, I would never. I'm sitting here in a suit, like, bro, I just started wearing suits. Like, I never could imagine myself being like this until I
Yeah.
got to Fort Valley. Like, I just grew out of my shell completely.
Yeah, that's facts, man. That's something that Fort Valley would definitely do to you.
Get you out your shell. A question I wanted to ask is, I mean, because I know you, like, for the camera, this is my line, brother.
Right.
So,
You know.
you started off as a veterinary science major.
Yes.
And you decided to switch to media studies. What caused you to do that?
You know, I always loved animals. Like, growing up, like, animals was like, I felt connected. I'm the only child, by the way, so I felt connected to animals, specifically dogs. Like, I could always go to a dog, like, we could play. You know, a dog not gonna tell you, no, like, a dog gonna run around. So I always wanted to give back to dogs, and that way was being like a veterinary technology major. So that way I could work, you know, it's not like too much school because I don't want to be a veterinarian, but it's like I work in office, you know, file paperwork, give shots, stuff like that. But then, you know, some things kind of happened during the semester. I was like, this is a very demanding major. And as much as I love animals, like, I don't see myself going this route anymore. So, and then media has always been in my life. You know, I have a YouTube channel, Instagram influencer, and brand ambassador. So I've always like gravitated towards the media as well. So it's like, if I didn't do one of those things, I was gonna do the other. And so that's what ultimately caused me to change my major.
So what would you say that your future goals are with media studies?
So it's kind of crazy because I don't just want to do like one thing. I want to be multiple things. I want to become a social media manager. I eventually want to be a professional photographer. You know, I do a little videography here and there. YouTube channel, you know, had that flourishing. What else? Brand ambassador. Like, everything that I could take from becoming a media major and like utilizing that towards my career, I want to do it.
Okay. So, one of my questions is, you're a first generation college student. So, being a first generation college student, what are some of the struggles that you faced adjusting to being at school? Because, like, for me, all I had to do was call my mom or my dad or my sister and be like, yo, I'm having this problem. What's going on? For you, you might not have that same experience. So how did you adjust to being here?
And going back to what I said about Fort Valley pushing me out of my shell, it was like, I didn't, as a first generation college student, I didn't have anyone like telling me, oh, go to this meeting, join this club, do this organization, pass this test, like pass all your tests, you know? I didn't really have that figure to look towards. So I feel like Fort Valley and the resources that they provide molded me to do all of those things and helped me adjust, because at first it was just like, I'm here, but all this stuff kind of overwhelmed. Like, I really don't know what to do. So as I matriculated throughout my time here at Fort Valley, I kind of like got in a groove of being a first generation college student and being a college student in general. And so hopefully I can pass that down to, you know, my family to come and really pave the way for them.
And see, earlier you had said that your mom was forcing you to, not forcing you, but kind of like forcing you to go to a HBCU. So how important was that? Like, why was that so important?
Man, like, if you don't go to a HBCU, I really don't know what to tell you. It feels like a home away from home. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, sometimes I'd rather be here than that. honestly at home because it's just comforting. Like there are people that look like you. There are people that understand you. You don't have to like code switch as much. Of course you're gonna code switch sometimes, but they're gonna understand your lingo sometimes. You see what I'm saying? And it's just feeling at home. Like I don't have to worry about, oh, am I gonna get a ride to this place, or is anybody gonna like me in this class? Like it's gonna be somebody that you can relate to and gravitate towards. So I feel like that's the importance of a HBCU, just overall being black, unapologetically black.
Unapologetically
Black. I like that.
I like that. I like that. Can you go more in depth with that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, we don't have to like hide ourselves. You know, at a PWI, you can thrive, but it's like it's certain stuff that's just not really gonna fly. People not gonna understand it. We get on Twitter, we talk, we're able to have conversations, we're able to relate to each other. You know, as far as a different school, you might have to get on Twitter. You kind of censor yourself. It's not really a community that's gonna understand you. Systematic racism, white professors that's not gonna relate to what you're doing. Like they don't care if you in the rain. They're not gonna care. A black person is gonna be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more compassionate. So what I mean by unapologetically black is being yourself to the fullest at an HBCU. There's nobody that you have to hide from, shy away from, worry about. Of course, there are gonna be the people that give you a little hard time, but at the end of the day, we're all black. We're all one, so we understand each other.
Right.
What are excuse me. What are some goals that you have for being as Mr. Fort Valley?
So, some goals that I have being Mr. Fort Valley, of course, I want to make sure that I fulfill the duties of Mr. Fort Valley as I should, and, you know, not just getting the title and making promises or empty promises. Like, I actually want to do something for my school and my institution. Some of those things being I want to make sure they're aware of the resources that they have provided for them. You know, we offer tutoring, but how many kids know about tutoring, you know? My friend is a tutor. She's a math tutor. She tells me all the time, you know, kids come, but they're not coming like that. As well as scholarships, you know, making sure they're aware. You know, we had the 1890 scholarship. Those kind of get sent out in the email, but it's like, is someone actually pushing those things to let these kids know that y'all have the resources available to you? So, yeah.
Okay. And so after you graduate Fort Valley and you become a super big social media influencer and things of that nature, how are you going to give back to Fort Valley?
Of course, I'm gonna always rep my institution. I feel like it's something that sticks with you, you know. Our lives to thee we dedicate. So anytime that I'm out, you know, of course, I'm gonna rep my institution. It's gonna probably stay in my biography forever. It's gonna be on my LinkedIn account. Like, I'm always gonna be linked to Fort Valley, no matter if it's service projects, no matter if it's scholarships, if I could join an alumni association, you know, something along those lines. But Fort Valley will always be a part of me because it's my way of giving back to the institution that gave to me.
Speaking of LinkedIn, like I'm having trouble. So help me. Help everybody. What am I supposed to put on LinkedIn, right? So I got 2 internships right now, right? I don't know how to post them. Like, do I wait till the internship send me some nail you, then I throw it on, smile, and be like, hey, I'm this intern now? Is that what I got to do?
I
Like,
mean,
what?
no, I would say just put it in, you know, your biography, you know, you're such and such scholar, you know, you've done this, kind of connect with the company so that they follow you back, you know, just kind of socialize, network with the people in the company as well.
Because, like, I be on LinkedIn, but I don't.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even have a LinkedIn.
Bro, you need one.
I know,
Oh, God,
I know they say
just-
it all the time. I just be like, bruh.
I just be on there winging it. I be scrolling down. Sometimes I be forgetting that it's a professional social media site. They be talking about all types of stuff on there.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Well, speaking of internships that I had, Jakoba's had like an internship every single semester ever since I've met him.
Dang,
So,
for real?
speak on some of the things that you've done, like some of the internships that you worked for and things that you've done to help mold your professional career.
Okay, so my current internship, it's with STI, Simply Success Training Institute, and those people over there are great. I work as like a philanthropist type person, so they recently just gave us scholarships to give back to our high school. So that way I would go to my high school, you know, present them with a scholarship, then I get to choose, I believe, like 25 kids to give those scholarships out to. So it's all about soft skills, helping become a better professional. So they help me in that aspect.
Okay. What are some, so when you were a vet tech major, did you work anything in the animal science realm as an intern, or did you, like when you realized, this ain't really the one, you just went straight to the media aspect of internships?
Yeah, so with the vet tech field, I never like got to even dabble in it. I was barely in my major classes. I had like one major class. But other than that, no, I didn't really get to do as much as I wanted to. But with the media field, I'm working in the media. I'm creating graphics for companies. I just recently got one. We're on the same network, Happy Accidents Media. Shout out to Kelvin.
KB.
Right. And I'm learning.
Apple Pie stuff.
Right. I'm learning a ton. Like, I'm learning how to create brand kits. I'm learning how to look at insights, do all of that. So by the time that internship, man, I'm gonna be a beast in the media field.
Yeah. And I know this is just a lot of college questions, but when you figured out that you wanted to switch your major, did that set you back in any way for graduation?
Luckily, it might be a little off. I might have to take a few little summer classes, but honestly, no, because like I mentioned, I wasn't in my major classes yet.
Yeah.
So luckily, I was able to get those credits, transfer or however they do it, and then it all added up so that I wouldn't be too far off.
Okay.
Was you kind of afraid to change your major in a way? Maybe I always I've been kind of afraid to step out of my major because I'm like, dang, I started this major, I need to finish, I need to see it through before I go somewhere else. But with you just went ahead and did it. What made you? Did you struggle with that at all?
And that goes back to me being a first generation college student. I kind of get to pay the way that I want for myself. So I didn't have a parent oh no, don't do that. Of course, my mom was like, well, what's your major now? And I had to explain it all over again. But I was just like, Mom, this is the best fit for me. That class, another thing that led me to change my major was the classes that I needed for a certain semester would be offered the other semester. So it was I would be off. I would always be trying to play catch up. That's one thing I didn't want to do. Who wants to play catch up, especially with school? So, I pretty much choose my path, my career. I know that's something I would thrive in. If I was not as confident as I am, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'd probably still be vet tech, kind of trying to get in that door. But honestly, I feel pretty confident with the mass communications major.
Okay. Good. Have you ever changed your major?
I haven't, bro. I've just stuck with. Actually, as a matter of fact, my freshman year at Georgia State, I was engineering, and then I did something with doctors. It was nursing or something like that, healthcare. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just do criminal justice because I could be a lawyer, and if anything, a fallback plan, I could be a police officer.
Police officer.
I don't want to be a police officer. I'll be extremely depressed if I was. But if I was a police officer or something,
Yeah.
But that's just my thought process with that.
I probably changed my major. All right, so I went to college at NCCU. I started off in biology, and then I had a D in biology, and I said, well, I had all A's and a D, and I was like, well, if I got a D in my major, maybe this isn't a major for me. And then I switched to, I want to say computer science or something. And I was like, my sister's husband, he make a lot of money. He does computer science. Let me do that. I failed a coding class. I was like, that's probably not the one. And then there was business and computer science. When that was my last major at NCCU. Then I transferred to Fort Valley, and I switched just to purely business management. So.
And see, it's kind of cool that you didn't have any a lot of people's explanations when they're choosing their major is money. You hear a lot of people be like, yeah, I can make a lot of money in this major, but nothing with happiness in it. And I think that's pretty cool that you say, I feel like I would be happier here. I already do half of the stuff that I'm doing for that major. So I thought that was
and I will say, with the money thing, it's solely up to you and how hungry you are, because there's money everywhere in the world. It's just about how you're utilizing your resources, and are you paying attention to these scholarships? Are you paying attention to these grants? Because as college students, there's grants and scholarships just sitting, waiting for someone to come get them. So the money's going to come to you.
You just got to look for them. Exactly. And like you said, they send them out in the emails at Fort Valley. So anybody who's not at Fort Valley yet, thinking about going to college, please come to Fort Valley. We want you, and we'll definitely help you. So, onto campaign platform. Have you gotten that far in your campaign? Is there anything that you want to announce when it purely comes to the campaigning aspect?
Everything is pretty much still in the works.
Okay.
I know my campaign. I know what it's about essentially. But as far as the whole campaign, I'm still waiting. Still getting the nicks out. I'm still ironing out the details and stuff like that. But I will say it's not just a campaign. It's a tool of empowerment for young men and women to, find themselves, to be self-aware, and so they can use this platform and the things that I give to them in their collegiate endeavors and beyond.
Okay. And before we end the interview, I would like to ask you, why should we vote for you?
That's a great question. I feel like, at the end of the day, I have put in the work. I have been dedicated to Fort Valley from the beginning. Fort Valley has given to me, and so if you vote for me, it'll be a way for me to give back to Fort Valley.
Jakoba Mildton Jr., is there anything that you would like to tell anybody? Any places they need to follow or subscribe to you to?
Definitely, with me being influencer, mass media major, I need y'all to follow me on all socials. Please follow my Instagram at Cobes the King, my Twitter, Cobes the King. Everything is Cobes the King. Just make sure you're linked in with me. I'm going to be posting a lot of content as regards to my campaign. I want you guys to stay aware, informed, and I want y'all to be the first to know when something comes out.
Jakoba Mildton Jr., everybody. Vying to be the 15th Mr. Fort Valley State University. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you.